Welcome back to another video. Today what I want to do is sharpen up this chain a little bit. If you remember from the last video, this is the skill saw 1616 that we kind of got going. It still needs work. I still haven't gotten parts for it to fix it up properly, but it runs, so I want to use it today to just cut some small wood. A guy at work gave me an idea of what to make out of that small wood, so I'm going to do that today. But first I want to just give it a little bit of a sharpening, and I thought I maybe show it to you. It's a small chain. I think we're gonna need to use a small file, 532 file, which I think I own. I don't have too many, but I think I have one. It's right there. We can use the next size up, I think, which would be, I think, 3/16. Yeah, 3/16 is the next size up. If you buy Oregon files, on the back it kind of tells you what. For the common sizes, as you see here, you got 532, 3/16, and then 732. It kind of gives you a little bit of a chart for chain and all that. Pretty nice. Okay. For today, we're gonna try this is, I mean, it's a, I don't know what kind of brand this file is, but it's not too great, but we might be able to use it there. Let's see what happens. I need to get a couple more of those new ones. Okay. First, let me just try one tooth and see how this file works, and then I'll put you a little bit closer so you can see what's going on. It's not too bad. It's an okay file. It can be better, but I don't know if this chain was ever sharpened before. Maybe not. Actually, might have once or twice. But anyway, we'll just do a little bit, and then we'll go cut some wood. It's not too bad. Let me get you closer so you can see a little bit better. Where's the one that I just did? Yeah, that's the one that I just did. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna, well, yeah, let's go to the next one right there. So I'm just gonna do a little bit. I'm gonna try to keep this angle the same, just so my chain doesn't cut crooked. So I'm just gonna give it a little bit. You see there, it's not terrible. It's sharp, but it can be a lot better. Okay, that one looks better. It grabs a little bit better. So let me put you aside so you can see what's going on. So let's see, actually, let me show you the one I just did, which is right there. So the one I just did is right here. Okay, you see how it has a little bit of a curve to it? That's kind of what you want when you sharpen the chain. Let's go to the one that's, you see that one right there? That one is not, I mean, it's not terrible, but you're supposed to have kind of like a letter C in here on the side plate. So this is the side plate. That's the top plate of the tooth. This one is gonna cut, but not very good, because what you need is for the tooth to look kind of like this one. You see here, it has oops, there you go, it has a little bit of a C, looks like a letter C on the side plate. That one is just straight down, looks like a ski slope. That's not gonna cut good. It'll cut, but it looks like they're all kind of like that. So we're gonna fix it up a little bit. I'll try to zoom on one of these so you can see even that one. Look at it. That's what it's supposed to look like. Okay. Now sometimes if you do too much of a C, that's not good either, because it's just gonna grab and it might break fast, or it's just gonna chatter and it's gonna grab the wood too much. So this kind of a C, just like that, that's about perfect. Okay, let me put you in the side and let's get this done. Okay, here we go. This is the one that we just did. So we're just gonna finish it up a little bit. Let's move on to the next one. Just wanna make sure you see what it looks like. Okay, it kind of has that ski slope. What we want to do is make it a C. I do this kind of one-handed, but just to kind of film normally, what you want to do is hold the file on this side too and kind of pull. I'll show you that at the end. For now, let's just get this sharpened up. Okay, how does that one look? It's pretty good, huh? Take a look at it. Yep, that's what you want. Okay, next one. Okay, I think we're done with that side. This next one here was done. That one was done. Okay. We gotta flip around. Do the other side now. Same way. Let's see. Camera. Where did we end up? Here? That's not too bad. Okay. Maybe gotta go up the chain a little bit just so I can put my hand there. So right here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, gonna need a new file. This one is just about done. Wasn't a very good file to begin with, but okay, how's that one look? A little bit of a C. Right, let's see. There we go. Not too bad. Not too bad. Yep. I think we're done. Went all the way around. I'm gonna take a glance at them just to make sure because I was trying to film and kind of file these the best I could, and so I'm just gonna check them one more time. But yeah, I would say they look pretty good. Trying to get that C shape fairly sharp. There we go. And then what I'm gonna do now is check the Rakers. These little guys right here. Make sure they are proper depth. I have a gauge. I'll show you how to do that. So basically, that's kind of what I'm trying to achieve. We'll see on the side. Make sure the top plate and the side plate are sharp. And then when I was filing up from the top here, Let's see if you can zoom in. I was just trying to keep the file same angle as it was before. Sometimes these teeth have a little line in the back that kind of gives you what that angle is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be, I want to say about 30 degrees. Like 25 to 35 degrees, something like that. 30s is a good number. So anyway, if you keep them all the same angle, it's just gonna make sure your chain cuts straight through the wood. They have all kinds of fancy stuff you can buy to make sure you have this angle right. Little gauges and little jigs and stuff. But I like the chains to have a little line in the back, just like kind of like that. And then you just follow that line and make sure it's parallel this angle to the line in the back. And then you're pretty much good to go. Keep the file looking at it from the, I don't know, from the side. Don't angle the file up and down, just keep it kind of straight across the bar, angled properly. Angled properly, 30 degrees or so, or whatever that line on the back of the tooth is. Kind of match that. Make a little C, like I said, on the side plate. That's pretty much it. It takes a little bit of practice, but it's not that hard. There's plenty of videos on YouTube on how to, like more detailed videos on how to do all of this stuff. But that's the basics. Okay, and now to check the rakers on this chain. Check the depth, right? So these are the rakers right here. So what needs to happen is that this raker needs to be lower than the tooth. That's what makes the cut. The difference between the top of the raker and the top of the chain is going to be the thickness of your chip that you cut, or the piece of wood that this tooth cuts, right? When you're cutting the log. So this is a gauge for the rakers, okay? And then that's just a flat file that you use to take down the rakers if you need to. So this particular gauge is, you can see right there, 25 thousandths. So what that means is that the difference in height between the tooth and the raker will be 25 thousandths. Okay. So rakers are important because if no matter how sharp the tooth is, if the raker is too high, it's still not gonna cut. Okay. If the raker is the same height as the tooth is just gonna kind of slide across the wood. It's not gonna have depth, right, to cut, if that makes sense. So how this gauge works is that the raker fits in this slot right there. So the tooth on this side and tooth on this side fits on either side of the hole, kind of like that. So make sure it's nice and flat, and then whatever is sticking up past this surface right here, you're supposed to file down. So let's see if I can angle this chainsaw to see. You can kind of, well, let's see here. It's kind of hard to see on the camera, but let me, let's see if I can see myself. If this needs. So you might need just a little bit. It's hard to kind of point on the camera, but you can kind of see it's sticking up a little bit past the surface here. So what we need to do is just take the file, and you can kind of also hear and feel if the file is catching on the raker. If it's not, it's just going to be kind of sliding across this thing. So there we go. that's all you need to do. File it down until it's not catching anymore and it's just sliding across. Okay, and then just go to the next one. Okay, and then to the next one. And then to the next one, and so on, until you get them all done. Okay, I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll come back. Okay, I took all the Rakers down. Let me just quickly show you what they look like now. Okay, so this is the, let's see here, where is, oh, right here. So this is right here, you can see a little bit of a flat spot. That's kind of what I took down. So you can kind of even see now that this surface is lower than the top of the tooth. Let me see if I can kind of, right. So it's about, so that's the thickness of the wood that this tooth will cut right here. It's this height. Okay, see the little space right there? That's how thick the chip will be. Okay, if it's like this, I'm gonna angle this down, right? If it's like this, if it is the same, it's not gonna cut no matter how sharp the tooth is. Okay, I think that's about it. We're ready to go and cut. So there we go. Got my pieces cut. The chain cuts very well. Chainsaw still doesn't run good, but that's expected because we haven't done much to it since last time. But anyway, I think you'll know what these will become. Yeah, coasters. So what I'm gonna do is just clean them up a little bit, take the bark off, clean them up just a little bit. I'm gonna keep them rough, and then put some lacquer on top, or some polyurethane or something. We'll see what I have around here, and then that's what we'll do. So let's see. This is dry wood, so the bark just kind of comes off. Okay, I mean, it's rough and everything, but that's kind of the point. Just gonna take the edge off the blade. It's fairly soft. Maybe I'll leave them to dry a little bit more because the wood was outside before I put lacquer or poly or something on top of these. Holidays coming up, so you can make these as gifts to people. Right, take the edge off so they're not sharp. Looks good already. Some of this out. These are not going to be fancy coasters. The wood is pretty rough, soft, it's pine, but it's fun to do. So okay, that's pretty good. Take off as much dust and stuff, loose stuff as possible. That's it. I'm gonna do all of them like that, and we'll come back, maybe leave them to dry for a little bit, come back, put some lacquer on each side, make them looking good, and we'll see what they look like in the end. Okay, got it finished up, all cleaned up, look pretty good, nothing fancy, right, but I think they will look good when finished. So I'm gonna leave them alone for a little bit, let them dry, because they were outside. I'm in the wood. There might be some moisture in there. And then we'll come back and finish them up. Okay, it's been a couple of days. And I think these are dry enough. They were dry anyway, but give them a couple of days to dry up a little bit more. So now let's give them some color. And then put some lacquer on them. Let's see. Pretty good. Maybe some on the side too. Okay, there we go. That should be good enough. Of course, if you're doing this, please use some gloves, heat-resistant gloves, or something that's gonna help you not get burned. I've done this a bunch of times, so I'm kind of being careful when I'm doing it, you know, keeping the flame away from my fingers. Right? But anyway, if you're doing it for the first time, please be careful. I have some of this stuff that I'm gonna use to make these nice and shiny. It's for exterior use, so I figure it'll be fine for this. Oops. Alright. Probably gonna mix that up a little bit. One of these foam brushes. Use it to mix. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I think that should be good. I'm gonna lay them all down. So I'm just gonna do one side first, let it dry a little bit, do the other side, and also around. And then I'll probably finish this up, maybe 2-3 coats off camera. I don't want to film all of this, and I'll show you what they look like in the end. But this is pretty easy, you just kind of I'm putting a lot of it on there because this wood is going to soak it up fast. I might even sand it a little bit in between coats, but maybe not, I don't know. So that one is good. Alright, that's good for now. I'm gonna let them dry a little bit, flip them over, and do the other side, and just gonna do that a few times. And we'll see what they look like in the end. And here is the last coat of urethane. It's kind of what they look like so far. Pretty nice. This is after, I don't know, 4 or 5 coats. I did do sanding one time, just to kind of make it a little bit smooth. But I'm gonna put on the last coat right now, let it dry, and that's it. Last coat on this side. The top side here is finished. So last thin coat. There we go. For the bottom side. Okay. Good. Came up pretty good actually. Okay. Got a little too much on the sponge there. Okay. Let's see if I can wipe that off. Okay. Last one. There we go. We'll come back when they're dry, show you the final finish. Okay, it's been a couple of days and the coasters are dry. There you go. They look pretty good. Check it out. All right. So there we go. Screwdriver maybe. Okay. Ooh. Not bad. Okay, let's clean this up and wrap them up. And then we'll give them to somebody. The big one's on the bottom. There we go. Perfect gift for somebody. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.